Words have power. They put a spell on your subconscious mind. And here's why the conditions call self niggers. To subjugate and control a targeted population, the first step is to neutralize their alpha males, aka those possessing warrior spirits. These are also the males that are psychologically wired to protect their communities and their women. White social scientists neutralize the black alpha male by socially engineering millions to self-identify ourselves as niggers. They did this to us because words, when repeated often enough, have immense power over the subconscious mind. Repeated words shapes our thoughts, and a thought held long enough by a word repeated often enough becomes a belief. A belief then becomes your biology. We psychologically become the words that we repeatedly call ourselves. This is why men that call themselves thugs are more likely to engage in a fight than to avoid one. It's also why women that proclaim themselves as being bitches often become stubbornly unreasonable. It's also the reason why over 90% of black men who are sagging are also the same ones calling themselves niggers. They sag because they think they're niggers, and sagging is how niggas dress. We subconsciously function based upon the words we repeatedly call ourselves. It's a psychological phenomenon that white social scientists have thoroughly researched. When we repeatedly call ourselves niggers, this conditions us to perceive ourselves through a false, inherent subordinate identity that aids the white society in maintaining its social dominance over us. When we call ourselves niggers, this also separates us from our unifying African heritage. Without having a base identity to connect ourselves, over time, we become further fragmented and we become weaker as a people. We can then be made into anything the white oppressors wants us to be. Self-identifying ourselves as niggers also psychologically divides us from our native Africans. When Africans are divided globally, we lose our global numerical advantage and loses all hopes of defeating global white supremacy. Calling each other by niggers, we also dehumanize each other when we do so. This makes it much easier to mistreat and even kill each other. This is a fact that the military has known for centuries. Case, point, and proof. During the Vietnam War, to ease the American soldiers' anxieties about torturing and killing the Vietnamese soldiers, they were taught to refer to them as chinks, gooks, and kongs. This dehumanized them and made it easier to kill and torture them. This is also why men who refer to women as bitches and hoes have a higher tendency to mistreat women. A man who never calls a woman out of her name has a lesser tendency of doing so. This is also the reason why white oppressive forces socially engineer millions of African Americans to self-identify ourselves as niggers. Through negative media social engineering, it makes it easier for us to kill each other. Have you ever closely listened whenever a black man speaks of a previous fight against another black man? As he presents the details of the fight, he will say, I hit that nigger, I kicked that nigger, I shot that nigger, etc. The term that nigger is being used to dehumanize the other black man. If you then ask the speaker to retell the details of the fight between himself and the other black man, however, replacing the term that nigger with my brother or that black man, he will find it psychologically difficult to repeat the story. The more brutal that he fought, the more difficult it becomes to tell the story without dehumanizing the opponent. He may even become angry for being asked to tell the story without being able to dehumanizing his opponent. When we assign negative words upon someone or another, we dehumanize them, which makes it easier to mistreat them. White oppressive forces have placed an elaborate self-deprecating spell upon the minds of black people with the word nigger. The white prison industry is also filled with black men that have been programmed to believe that they're real niggers. White social engineering scientists deliberately program millions of black men to believe that they're real niggers to achieve this objective. Words do have power over the subconscious mind. Many African Americans are now saying that we should call ourselves niggers, N-E-G-U-S. It's an ancient Ethiopian word meaning king. However, given that there are literally thousands of languages and dialects in Africa, more than 2,000, and each one of them have at least 3 words that mean king or ruler. Now, don't you therefore find it suspicious that the only one of those many thousands of words being spread into our communities is the word niggers, N-E-G-U-S, the one that just happens to sound exactly like niggers, N-I-G-G-E-R-S? To believe that this is merely an incredible coincidence is extremely naive. The ignorant, naive, and gullible are always the easiest victim of the white man's propaganda campaigns. As I said, Africa literally has thousands of words in dialect that also means king. Now here's the reason why the only one we're hearing is niggers, N-E-G-U-S. Millions of African Americans were deliberately socially engineered to call themselves niggers by white oppressive forces because it negatively affects us at a subconscious level. The word niggers, N-I-G-G-A, and N-E-G-U-S are being misused to keep African Americans functioning based upon the negative effects created by the original N-word because the subconscious mind doesn't see the different spelling. A nigger, by any spelling, is still a nigger. Brothers and sisters, it is time for us to wake up. We African Americans are more susceptible to negative media social engineering because we were stripped of our true identity and culture during the enslavement of our ancestors. While we read our Bible believing it will protect us, white oppressive forces study instead how to manipulate the minds of large targeted population. They then use that gained knowledge to mentally enslave millions of black people. And when those of us who are awoke try to teach the others, they were told to shut up and just keep reading our Bibles. That's our situation. Our reality is the white oppressors are playing chess, and black people are not even playing checkers. Black people are playing hopscotch. It is time to wake up to our reality. One love and peace.